Hi, Taurus. I know it's been hard. I know this year has been hard, but there's been a lot of growth. And one of the reasons it's been hard for Taurus placements is because we're moving into Taurus North Node, which means that we need stability, security. We need that high vibrating Taurus energy. So, any kind of skeletons in the closet or lessons that were left for you to learn at this time needed to be learned if you are one of the Taurus people or you have Taurus placements that are here to help vibrate that energy out for the collective coming up in January. I believe the North Node goes into Taurus. I think it's January 19th. So that was part of the reason why things have been so difficult, Taurus. I know, it's not fair. I'm a Taurus too. I feel it. And actually, I'm so excited because last year, this day, December 30th, 2020, I just started the channel. It was my first video. It was a Taurus video. And man, has it been a journey. So much has happened in between then and now. When I started, I was in a very difficult place. And whatever I'm saying here to you, I'm feeling guided to tell you. So this might be a message for you. I was in a very difficult place. I had like a really heartbreaking breakup and I had moved my house and, there was a lot of things. My dad was sick with cancer. There was a lot of things going on in my life at that time that were extremely hard for me to deal with. And I was doing it all alone. And I learned so much about myself in that time period of suffering. And I know, Taurus, you've learned quite a bit about yourself too. And I feel like you have begun to integrate your shadow a lot more because, when you're alone and you're suffering, really the only way to get through it is to face your own shadow. And that's one way you reclaim your power. Facing your own shadow is basically looking at all the things about yourself that you don't want to look at or that you haven't been able to look at until that point. And usually when we come up against our shadow is because somebody in our life has pushed us in a way to do that. We found ourselves in a situation where it's undeniable to see that there are still some things that need to be ironed out. Okay. I'm going to make a larger video on this, but shadow work is really a lifelong process. But this past year, and maybe a few years before that, but certainly this past year leading up to the North Node change, I know it's been hard for Taurus people, Taurus placements, particularly those Taurians who are meant to kind of sustain the vibration, the high vibration of the next, I heard epoch that we're moving into, which we all know is big, and we all know there's massive change coming. So that strong like bull energy is going to be really stabilizing for all of humanity. Okay, Taurus, did that get you going there? I hope it did. So let's get into your reading here. I have no idea what area of life this is going to be about for you. I just felt like really guided to have that little chat with you there. Okay, so let's see what Spirit has to say here for your overall theme for this reading. My readings aren't time specific, okay? So whenever you come across this, I think it's meant for you. Okay, let's see. Thanatos, which is death. The Queen, wow. The Tear, and the Pilgrim. I feel like this is exactly what I just said to you here. The Vow at the bottom. That's a lot more than I was anticipating to come out. But like I said, the journey's been long. There has been a death. That's where you started with this death, this transformation. I feel like, it's like a distorted face here. You were able to face the distortion of others and by proxy, the distortion of yourself, or vice versa, right? Like you started to realize that there was something off kilter about yourself and how you were feeling with, your own life. And therefore you were introduced to people who really pulled that out of you. This feeling of like something's not right or I'm not where I want to be could have been unconscious until you came into contact with those situations or until certain relationships developed to a point where it was undeniable for you to really take a look at what was going on. And I feel like it was not just one person or one situation. It was a whole web of things here in your life that you found yourself the center of. But look, after that rough period, and I'm seeing this, we have 4 cards. I'm seeing this as the 4 seasons. Okay, so we have winter. I'm beginning with, last year at this time. Winter, spring, summer, and fall. Okay, so in spring, we have the Queen. This is when you started to realize your power. Okay, and I feel like it's when people started to realize your power as well, or look a little different at you, like, wow, Taurus is pretty strong there. What happened to Taurus? How did those horns get so big? And it's like, Taurus, they were always big, your horns. You just had your head, you were facing people straight on, but now in the spring, you kind of lowered your head like, I'm going within, and if you want to confront me, here's my horns. Okay, that's what I'm feeling for this spring. You realize that you're the ruler of your own energy, I was going to say, but then I heard planet, okay? And I think it's significant that the Queen came out and not the King, because this really is a time for a strong, stable, feminine energy. And Taurus, you are very feminine. You're Gaia, your Mother Earth, okay? Your Empress energy. Beautiful. Okay. So the summer, what happened? We have the Tear. This is where we go back a little bit here. I wasn't planning to do like a year review, but I guess this is what's happening. There, we go back a little bit here, and we begin to reflect on, what died, how it died, what that death process is like. And, don't forget that Scorpio is opposite to you. So the South Node is going to be in Scorpio now. And I feel like you did a lot of balancing between Taurus energy and Scorpionic energy, and finding out, all of those Plutonian or like darker things that were kept inside for survival purposes, right? Maybe there were difficult traumas that you hadn't yet worked through, or truths about a relationship you didn't want to quite see, or things that were holding you back in your life that you chalked up to external forces, but really they were things coming from within you. So I feel like in the summer you kind of had this reassessment here. And I feel like something cracked open, and you were able to release here. Could have been an emotional release. I heard artistic release, something released in the summer, and you began to find your way. I feel like the summer was a little difficult though. Okay? I do. But it was necessary, because you were coming back to this darker place from a new height of empowerment. And then the fall, the Pilgrim. This is when you're ready to go on that journey. See, you've done the work. You know your power. You're your own leader. You're the ruler of your own shadow. Okay, and if you feel like you don't know what I'm talking about with shadow, don't worry about it. Just go with whatever your intuition is telling you this reading is about. Okay, that's totally cool. But I feel like most of you have had some insights into what that all is about and what that means. And like I said, I'm going to do a video on that. And actually, the reader Scorched Earth, I don't know if you have listened to her readings, but she just did a phenomenal video on the shadow. So you should definitely check that out. And her message for Taurus was that Taurus is integrating the dark and the light. And I'm seeing that right here too. I'm feeling it as a Taurus. So you're ready for the journey, Taurus. But not only are you ready for the journey, you're ready to be the mountain that people journey up. Okay, I'm seeing this mountain here with your eye on top. You're laying the foundation. Now, this could be real, like tangible things you're doing, or it could just be you're in a new, better place and you're vibrating. Don't underestimate how your kind of mundane, smaller, minutia type situations, don't underestimate the power of that and how that builds this collective, beautiful force. I'm not saying all, but a lot of readers have Taurus energy or strong Taurus placements. And there's a reason for that. Okay, there's a grounding energy with Taurus to bring these emotions that we go through, these spiritual journeys that we find ourselves into a grounded, solid place that where we can begin to grow something and make sense of the world and ourselves. Okay, this is so much deeper than I anticipated, but that's all good with me, Taurus. Okay, let's see here what's going on. I feel like, we talk about spiritual awakenings and all this stuff, and I feel like it is like you were asleep for a long time. You weren't really stepping into your power. Now, there are some Taurus energies out there who are, of course, we're not all the same, who are still in sleepwalker mode. Okay? And that's okay. You just take care of yourself, because by taking care of yourself, you're taking care of those around you as well. It's like that whole oxygen mask, right? You can't really help someone else breathe unless you're breathing yourself. Okay? And I feel like you did try to help someone breathe without breathing yourself. Maybe somebody was trying to take your oxygen. Yeah, I'm feeling that. 5 of Swords and the 8 of Swords. But we're not going back to that place, Taurus, okay? So let's see here. Let's get out. Well, let's do a Celtic cross for Taurus. Should we? Or should we do the 8 card spread? Okay, I'm tossed up between those. Okay, well, let's do a Celtic cross then. Looking at that first card. That's the Father of Wands in reverse. So let's get all the cards out here for Taurus, please. For Taurus. And what a weird message we had at the beginning of the... I was going to say the term. Interesting. The beginning. I am a teacher, so that's probably why. But at the beginning of the term, okay, at the beginning of the month, I had this really karmic feeling message for you. And I made it a bonus because I didn't feel like it warranted an extended. And some of you reached out and said that you'd like an extended on that. But to be completely honest, I wasn't feeling guided to do that because you've moved away from that energy. Okay, and yeah, you still have to process it. You still want to hear about it. But your time is better spent looking forward, okay? Doesn't mean that we can't talk about karmic things. Who knows? Might come up in this reading for all I know. But yeah, I don't know. I did actually record another reading. I have since deleted it because, Taurus, enough is enough, okay? I don't need to tell you that. You know that. Ooh, okay. So let's see what we have here. Your current energy, Father of Wands. I feel this is the energy of your head down and your horns forward. Now, sometimes in the spiritual community, or whatever you want to call it, tarot world, I don't know, whatever you do or however you feel about this realm of life, there can be an ethos or a mentality that we have to be kind and love and light and open and, not angry, not in our shadow element. That's not how humanity works, okay? That's not how humans work. That's not how the psyche works. We all have a shadow, all of us, okay? And there's a collective shadow too. And with the Father of Wands in reverse, that can be a really shadowy energy. This is an energy that can be aggressive, angry, self-serving. But in the context of what I'm seeing with those larger cards here, I feel like this is you actually discarding like a toxic masculine energy that maybe you had. And when I say masculine and feminine, of course, I'm not talking about genders, okay? Or that whole toxic masculinity. I'm not talking about that at all. That really has nothing to do with what I'm saying. It's more of like trying to lead yourself and guide yourself through this very kind of rigid and structured pattern, or fit yourself or force yourself into ideas and concepts and thought forms and relationships that are too rigid, as a source of empowerment. It's like you've taken a step back from that. In terms of your career, material gain, relationships you're involved in, okay, you've decided that your empowerment is not in that area. It's not in that Hierophant area at this time. it is more of this queen energy. It's the Empress, which I have over here. See? It's the feminine, okay? It's the abundance. It's the receptivity, but only if you only receive if you're able to grow something with it. You're not just wide open for whatever, okay? For people to throw shit at you and it just sticks. No. This is like, okay, I'm receptive to what you have to say or what you have to give or your ideas, as long as I can make use of something you're saying or doing and I can grow it for you, for me, for everyone. But first for yourself, okay? You know, the mother has to take care of herself first, or it just is not going to work. Okay, so the Father of Wands in reverse, I feel like this is you channeling that more masculine energy into a ferociousness, into a fierceness, which is coming up for you with the Strength card. And so maybe sometimes you get a little shadowy, right? Maybe you get a little bit, I don't know, righteous, or you get a little bit, I don't know, you could be snappy, you could be sharp, you could have plans in your head for if this happens, this is what I'm going to do. You know, or you could be doing things intentionally, knowing that maybe you're acting out of a place that isn't so great, but you know why you're doing it. The fact that you're just conscious of all of that is huge progress. And I feel like it's gone beyond consciousness of your shadow to that, like I was saying, your integration. So you're working with all those energies, but in a way that doesn't harm anyone. Okay, it's just maybe a different way of doing things. And not everyone's going to like you. And not everyone's going to agree with you. And Taurus, you're okay with that. And that's the most important thing. Okay, no more people pleasing if you ever did, you know. But if you did find yourself in a moment of that, you're not doing that at all anymore. Okay, let's see what's crossing you. The Two of Pentacles. So you're balancing something here. It could be, well, I don't think it's that. I think you're balancing, I'm hearing your footing, like where you feel planted and guided to be now versus almost like where you want to go. How do I explain this? I'm getting this feeling of like, you know where you want to be right now and you're comfortable, you know, in the immediate future and the present moment of where you are, but you have a vision of where you want to go, although you're not really sure how that fits or how you'll get there or what will happen. And I feel like you're doing some kind of transmutation actually. And you realize that this has to be a solo journey, no matter if you're in a connection or not. Okay, this is something that's very solo for you. Father of Cups for the past. This is you concealing your emotions a little bit, feeling a lot. Okay, feeling a lot, having your heart wide open and broken for some of you. Okay? But you didn't really say much about it. You did your Taurus thing where you just went like, you should just know how I'm feeling, you know, like I'm not going to say it because if I say it, I'm going to explode like a bull, right? I'm just going to go rampant with it. So I'm just going to, you know, hold it in and center myself, balance my emotions, find my Zen, because that's the enlightened, you know, ascended thing to do. But you're realizing, no, you can't keep that in. You have to let it out. Now, it doesn't mean you lash out at someone, okay, or you attack someone, but you have to let it out somehow. And sometimes you do need to be direct with people and they do need to hear things a certain way, if not only for yourself to get them out, okay? And I think you're realizing how to do that without hurting anybody. Because what you learned from the past here is the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. That if you keep floating along here, like the black swan, you know, out of alignment with everyone else, or maybe being a little bit different, unique, which is nothing's wrong with that, right? But it's like you kept to yourself, you kept your emotions in, you appeared very solid. I heard a column and I saw like a pillar, like a coliseum, like a column. And it's like, I'm just here. Everything's all good. I'm here. You can lean on me. Don't worry about me. Don't need to check in on me. I'm fine. You know, that kind of energy, which I'm getting from this card. It's like you realize, well, yeah, maybe that protects me from being vulnerable to the wrong people in this state of transformation, but it certainly doesn't bring in any new opportunities here for me. I feel like you swam in circles here. Like, woo, you know? Yeah, so you're realizing that it's okay to have that kind of shadowy experience and to cloak yourself and go into an insular, kind of secluded, introverted place. But at some point, you have to vibrate outwards to attract the things you want to come in. Now, what's your strength? 2 of Cups in reverse. And this is why I feel like this is a real solo journey for you. Okay, I feel like, Taurus, you love love, right? No matter if that's love from your friends, your family, a partner, your animals that you might have. Which one of them is in here? Yeah. Oh, they're both in here. Yeah, so I feel like, now I just got sidetracked. See, it's like the others around you kind of sidetrack you. See what I'm saying, Taurus? It's like the energy, it was nothing big, but you see the energies around you, it's like destructive, even though you love them. I'm going to clean that up. I'll be right back. All right, Taurus, we're back. Yeah, it's like nothing major, nothing broke or anything like that, just things knocked off the table, because there's people who want to be around you in your energy, people that you love and care about, okay? And I feel like maybe they're getting a little bit like, Taurus, you know, give me some of that good energy you got going on. But you need to carve out space for yourself, okay? And maybe there's a time and place to love on people, but it's not, well, it's not what? Father of Swords in reverse. It's not when you're working through your thoughts about the things that bring you sadness. You know, I feel like you've been really wrestling with your thoughts. I'm seeing a maze here. Trying to navigate your way through this challenging mental space that brought you a lot of anguish because you couldn't see something here. You couldn't see how something fit together or why something happened the way it did, okay? And you need to be alone when you're in those spaces. It's very important for you to recharge your energy. Okay, and I'm feeling like I'm seeing the earth here, which you are, Taurus, and it's like people can take your resources, you know, just like people kind of pillage the earth, you know? It's like take your resources, and you want to give to be able to sustain, you know, the people around you. But, you know, whether that's, you know, actual resources or emotions, but at some point you have to say, whoa, that's enough. I've had enough. So what's your near future? They're clawing at the door. See, it's like, Taurus, you're going to have to be real strong here. You're really going to have to gather your strength to stay focused. That's what's coming up for you, is beautiful strength, okay? You standing in your power. And when you reemerge from whatever you're in, and, you know, you could be going out and being social, having a great relationship. It's not like you're hiding in a closet in your room like, you know, it's not the feeling. But you are doing some kind of metamorphosis here. And when you reemerge, you're going to walk in with those horns back up, you know, your chin up. And you're going to have this really gentle, beautiful Queen Empress vibe about you. But also this, like, if I drop this rose, you know, if for some reason you make me have to drop this rose, or I feel like I need to, maybe not even you make me, but I feel the need to, I got a big set of teeth in there, okay? And a big roar. You're not skating along, swimming along the pond here in your own solitude. No. You're using that throat chakra, which, you know, Taurus, you rule the throat, okay? So you're really opening that up and hearing the truth and speaking the truth about yourself and about what you see around you. All right, Taurus, I'm going to go into the extended. This was longer than I anticipated, but before I do, I will tell you what's coming up in the extended. I'm going to look at how other people are seeing you, which is the Empress. Outside influence, we have the 8 of Pentacles in reverse. And then your hopes and fears, which is the 3 of Pentacles, which I find fascinating with that mountain there. And then your outcome, Taurus, 10 of Pentacles. Okay, so we're going to get into it, find out what's going on. I'm also going to poke around a little bit and see, this feels very solo, but we want to always reconnect, we want to be with someone. We want to feel that love, maybe, but I'll ask a little bit about that, where that journey's headed for you coming up in your strong position. All right, Taurus, I love you so much. Thank you so much for being on this journey with me. It truly means a lot to share this energy with you. I'll see you next time.